Hello, gorgeous souls. Welcome to today's video. And today's video is about overcoming a loss. And why did I choose this topic? Well, first of all, it was an opportunity that was given to me to be invited into this beautiful summit, Inspired Week. So there were a few topics in that Inspired Week list that was taking my attention. One of them was starting over. So for those of you who know me or heard my story before, I have a background in finance, studied economics, I worked in investment banks here in London, economic consultancies, dealing with hundreds of people that were very wealthy, but very often very stressed out and burned out. And I started over. After the loss of my husband, and I'm now a leading shamanic priestess of wealth and well-being. So how can you go from being an investment banker to a shamanic priestess, being of service to others and healing the web of life? I would call that a start over, wouldn't you? But in the end, I couldn't have started over if I didn't overcome my loss. And this is why today I want to share with this video a few considerations about losses. And when we talk about loss, so in my case it was romantic loss. And it didn't happen just once. It happened twice before. When I was a teenager, my boyfriend killed himself. And that was traumatic. And a few years later, I was in love with this gorgeous Italian man. We were due to go and live in Italy together and have many children. And from one day to the other, he broke the relationship, moved back to Italy on his own. And I didn't understand at the time. And a year later, I heard he died of cancer. And at that time, I thought I wasn't meant to be a widow. That's why the relationship ended. I have to learn to trust and surrender. And then fast forward a few years, I meet my beautiful husband. We get married, we have two beautiful children. And in the 9th of May 2016, he passed away. So I had to learn, not once, not twice, 3 times, and probably, I hope not more losses of romantic relationships, but I had to learn. And the one thing I want to share with you here is that by overcoming that loss, I could step into my path of being a shaman, of being a healer. And I'm going to say even more, most likely, if I didn't experience those losses, I wouldn't have found this beautiful path that I'm on. And I think I'd like you to let you reflect on this. So when there is a loss, when you're feeling that something is taken away from you, and it's truly uncomfortable and painful, and you really don't want it to be that way, and at the same time you have no control over it. So what can you do? What can you do to let that circumstances not destroy your life, so that you keep on living? And not only you keep on living, but you bring some sort of joy into your life. And there is a way. And this is what I'd like you to reflect upon. What is what we consider a loss can help us birth something new? What if we consider a loss can help us birth something new? And I'd love to hear from you, so please post on the comment. If you want a heart-to-heart chat about it, book a free call with me, and I'll be honored to hear about your personal story. Lots of love. Namaste.